Today, I'm gonna be riding on Canada's worst/best train because in the entire country, there is only one company that operates major passenger networks. I'm gonna be showing you everything that's good and everything bad about Via Rail, and there are definitely some mixed reviews. On one hand, people complained about late arrivals, calling it terrible beyond words and even a complete disappointment. But on the other hand, people have said that they had a great time, great service, and a wonderful experience. So obviously, we're gonna be riding Via Rail to see what they're actually like. But obviously, before we're able to do that, we need to buy the tickets. And as I was doing it, I noticed something pretty weird. And that's because business class was only $50 more than economy. So obviously, I decided to go for it. And after finalizing the booking, we ended up getting our boarding pass and we were finally good to go. And I'll be honest, I was planning to go economy, but since business class is pretty much the same price after food and all the other expenses, obviously we're gonna do that instead. But now we have a pretty major issue. And that's because Toronto is supposed to have the worst snowstorm of the entire year tonight. So hopefully nothing gets canceled tomorrow. All right, so last night out of all nights, Toronto decided to have the worst possible snowstorm of the entire year. And this morning out of curiosity, I was checking flights and pretty much every single flight out of Toronto is being canceled right now. And I have no idea how train cancellations work, but hopefully today my train is not canceled. You know, something always goes wrong when I travel, so I just have a bad feeling for some reason.
Going down.
Does anyone else ever have like the urge to just jump in the elevator? Because I really want to do that right now. Every single time I do these videos, it is literally freezing in the morning. And today is probably the coldest it has ever been. But it's all gonna be worth it, especially for the business class. And after making my way through the snow, I arrived at Union Station, where I'd soon be getting on the train for my 4.5-hour trip in business class. You see, normally when I come to Union Station, I'm always here to catch the up train to go to the airport for one of my videos. But there's actually a lot more to this place that I haven't told you guys about. And that's because Union is Canada's biggest railway station, which is home to a food court, shopping mall, Toronto subway, commuter trains, and national trains as well. But the only problem is that even though I come to this station all of the time, I've never been to this part in particular because I've never taken a passenger train in my entire life. But apparently because I bought a business class ticket, I have access to the business lounge, which is somewhere inside of here. So we're gonna go find that because we have about an hour until our train. Hi there.
Hi my friend, how are you?
I'm good.
Nice picture of me?
Yeah, is that okay?
No, it's not.
Oh. So, do I have to check in or anything for a train?
Ticket already?
Yeah.
Is it a business or economy class ticket?
Business.
Okay, you can check in the Via Lounge if you would like to, okay?
Where is that? Because I've been trying to look for it.
Go that way.
That way?
Business side, there's a Via Business Lounge. You can check in the lounge when it's time for boarding or the departures hall or down that way.
Perfect, thank you so much. Have a good one. Naturally, the next thing I did was look for the lounge, but because Union has so many different areas, it was a bit of a maze. I won't lie, I ended up getting completely lost, and I found a different lounge, but this wasn't the one I was looking for. But after a bit of searching, I finally found the one I was supposed to be at. It looks like this is the lounge. Hi there. Do I have to check in or anything? It's right there. Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this place is actually awesome. Normally whenever I fly anywhere, I go economy and I never have lounge access, but after this, I'm gonna have to consider. This place has free Wi-Fi, free drinks, and free priority boarding, which I have never experienced in my entire life. And another thing that's super cool is everything is kind of dated, but it's also kind of a vibe, and it fits the whole kind of train theme, I feel. But anyways, while we chill in this awesome lounge, I thought that now would be a great time to tell you guys some facts about Via Rail. So number one, Via Rail operates about 500 trains a week over 8 Canadian provinces on 12,000 kilometers of track. That is a lot considering we are the second biggest country in the world. Number two, Via Rail is actually a state-owned company and they're responsible for all rail passenger services in Canada besides commuter and local lines. So number three, these are all of the trains that Via Rail currently operates. And I'll be honest, I have no idea what they are, what they mean, and what is good about them. So if you guys know, let me know down in the comments. But anyways, it is now getting close to the time where I'm supposed to be boarding the train, so I think we should go find it because I have never done anything like this before and I would really hate to miss it. And for anyone who's interested, this is the entire railway network of Canada. And today we're gonna be going from Toronto right here to the capital of Ottawa right there. So hopefully things end up going smooth. And after a few minutes, I found the line to get on the train. But since I was in business class, I was able to skip to the front of the line and get boarding before everyone else. Today, this is the train that's gonna be taking me all the way to Ottawa. And apparently car number 1 was the business class car, and I was not prepared for what things were gonna be like. Right off the bat, I noticed the massive seats, giant windows, and tons of legroom, which is way different from when I fly on planes, and before you knew it, we were pulling out of the station and leaving Toronto behind us. Okay, so now that I'm on the train, I figured out some of the best things, and I definitely have to share it with you guys. First off, in the business car, there is free Wi-Fi, and even though it's not the greatest, it still does the job super well. On top of that, there is also a food menu and unlimited drinks, and we're supposed to be getting a meal and snacks throughout the entire trip, so that is something we are definitely gonna have to check out. And right on cue, as soon as I said this, the drink cart came around.
Hi, can I offer you something to drink?
Sure, what do you have?
I have 2 different strong alcohols, soft drinks, Lamano juice, white wine, red wine.
Thank you. Can I do a white wine, please?
White wine?
Thank you so much.
All right, enjoy.
Now, along with the drinks, they also handed out snack packets full of nuts, and after cheersing my friend beside me, I sat in to take in some of the scenery. But this was only the beginning of the experience, because I still need to show you guys more about the seat and the amenities. But first, it was time for the meal.
And for you?
What was the first one? Gnocchi?
Gnocchi, yes.
I'll have that, please. Thank you so much. Now, as for the other options, there was also a chicken, a vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and a bunch more, but I decided to go with the gnocchi. And I'll be honest, I had no idea what to expect from this thing, but it was actually a 10 out of 10, and the only thing I didn't eat were the chickpeas. So now that we're a little bit over halfway through the train ride, I thought that now would be a great time to tell you guys some thoughts about the experience so far and how I feel about it. So right off the bat, we have to address the elephant in the room, and the fact that this train is taking 4.5 hours to Ottawa compared to a 1.5 hour flight is crazy. And on top of that, the flight is usually cheaper, if not the exact same price. But now with this being said, I've realized that a train and an airplane are completely different experiences. On one hand, whenever you fly, it's obviously going to be faster and sometimes cheaper, but I find the experience is super claustrophobic and very stressful. But when it comes to a train, even though it might be a little bit slower, it's so much more relaxing, and I've actually enjoyed it so much more. Another thing I realized is that on a train, the seats are just way bigger compared to an airplane, which is super tight, and I feel like I can actually breathe on a train. Another thing that I realized is that an airport is way more stressful because you have security, you have customs, and literally all of that. But on the other hand, with a train station, it's literally buy a ticket, show up, get on your train, and there's no security whatsoever. But now the one major downside I will acknowledge is the fact that the Canadian railways kind of suck. Even the US is terrible compared to Europe and Asia. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that these seats are unreal, and they beat an airline seat any day of the week. This thing is literally so comfortable. And speaking of the seats, I thought that now would be a great time to go over some of the other things that I haven't already told you guys about. Right off the bat, I noticed how clean everything was, and between the seats were these massive dividers which had full-size outlets for charging your devices underneath. As well, the seats had coat hangers, braille for the visually impaired, and they also had this pouch for storage, which was super cool. Now, as for the rest of the car, there was a row of single seats, but everything else was in double or quads. But eventually I had to go to the bathroom, which was definitely an experience. Overall, everything was super clean. It had a baby tray table, and everything had amenities that you would probably expect in a bathroom. But I will say, going pee on a train is probably the most uncomfortable experience of my entire life. But anyways, as I was heading back to my seat from the bathroom, I noticed we were pulling into the Ottawa train station. So that means there is one question that we need to answer. Is Via Rail the worst, or can we say that it is actually good? Well, I'll be honest, I don't have a single complaint other than the fact it's slower than a plane, but that's just trains in general. So I'd have to say it was actually a really good experience. But anyways, let me know down in the comments below if I should do more train videos. Subscribe if you're new, and check out this video next because it is insane.